He never intended to open that door. He was only trying to breathe for a moment, to escape the noise, wipe the grease off his hands, and finish his shift without trouble. But when single father Ethan Blake pushed open what he thought was a storage room, and instead found her turning around in surprise, halfway through buttoning her blouse, he froze. Welcome back to my channel, Classic Stories. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Now let's dive into the story. In that single heartbeat, everything changed. She wasn't just anyone. She was Evelyn Hartwell, the youngest CEO in the company's history, the woman employees whispered about, the woman everyone feared to even look in the eye. Yet, right now, her eyes weren't filled with anger. They held something else entirely. Ethan Blake lived his life in silence. Night shift maintenance at Hartwell Industries paid just enough to keep the lights on and his daughter Lily in school. Clock in, fix what's broken, eat alone, go home, repeat. His wife had walked out when Lily was a baby, leaving nothing but a note. Ethan gave up everything after that. Dreams, hobbies, sleep. Lily, now 6, was the only thing that kept him moving. So when the CEO arrived unannounced at midnight, the entire building panicked, except Ethan. All he wanted was to finish repairing the lights and get home before sunrise. He knocked. No answer. He opened the door. Evelyn turned sharply, startled, blouse unbuttoned at the top, clearly changing after a long flight. Ethan spun around instantly, stumbling over his apology. But she didn't yell. She didn't threaten him. Instead, she said quietly, "Wait." Ethan stopped. "No one ever knocks," she said, her voice soft, tired. "People just barge in demanding things. You're the first person who actually knocked." He turned back slowly. She was fully dressed now, but the exhaustion in her eyes made her look painfully human. Not the cold figure everyone feared. That tiny moment cracked open a wall between two worlds that were never meant to meet. The next morning, Ethan expected security to show up at his door. Instead, he received an email. Report to the executive floor. 9 a.m. E. Hartwell. Walking through the glass hallways felt like entering another planet. The janitor in a cheap shirt surrounded by marbles floors and tailored suits. He expected humiliation. But Evelyn offered him coffee. "I need someone who sees things from the ground," she said. "Someone who understands what people down there actually feel." Then she did the unthinkable. She offered him a position as her executive assistant. No degree, no experience, no confidence. But she saw something in him he had never seen in himself. He accepted, because Lily deserved more than a lifetime of struggle. At first, executives mocked him, whispered behind glass, tried to sabotage him. Evelyn didn't fire them. She trained him instead. She taught him how to speak in meetings, how to read data, how to understand power without being swallowed by it. And slowly, something else formed between them, something unspoken. Then came the storm. Rumors spread that Evelyn favored Ethan romantically. The board grew restless. Employees whispered louder. Photos of Ethan entering the executive elevator were taped to walls like evidence of a crime. Lily even heard gossip from parents at school. Ethan thought of quitting. "I don't want to destroy your reputation," he told Evelyn, voice breaking. "You're not destroying anything," she said fiercely. "They believe the worst because it's easier than believing in better." For the first time, he saw her pain, not her position. Instead of avoiding the scandal, Evelyn took a step no one expected. She called a full-staff town hall. Thousands watching. Hundreds waiting. "Yes," she said boldly. "He was a janitor. And yes, I promoted him. Not out of pity, but because he listens. Because he treats people like leaders should. If that offends you, maybe you're the problem." Silence. Then applause, not for her, but for him. That night, Ethan cried for the first time in years. Months passed. Together, they raised wages, fixed working conditions, and launched scholarships, including one for Lily. One late evening, Evelyn stood by the window, city lights glowing beneath her. "You changed everything," she whispered. "You opened the door," he replied. She looked at him, the man she had once met by accident, the man who saw her without fear. "Maybe," she said softly. That door was never a mistake. And in that moment, neither of them were CEO or janitor, not rumor or scandal. Just two people finally seen. That wrong door didn't break boundaries. It built a bridge. And nothing would ever be the same again.